Okay. Okay, hi guys. Welcome to Google Developer Group Cebu, Road to DevFest 2022. Okay, I can see a few people around. How about in our live stream? Okay, I can see a few as well. Welcome. Hi Vaughn, who messaged us in the group chat. Welcome to our mini event. We do apologize for this a bit of technical problems, but we will be starting very soon. The other teams are just preparing for their sets. So I hope you guys are getting cozy in your offices, in your home. It's 2:45 p.m. Hopefully we aren't that a bit sleepy at this time, so we can still have time a bit to get our coffee. So yeah, do join us. Hopefully we be able to start in a few minutes. All right. Sit back, relax, and enjoy, and stay tuned. Okay, I think we're ready. Okay, let's do this. It's 2:47 p.m. Again, hope you are very cozy in wherever you are. Currently, we're live streaming from different parts of Cebu, and yeah, let's get into it. Okay, Francis, if you wanna do the introduction to what we are and what we're trying to do actually. Oh, we
Thanks,
have
Mark.
someone from Manila. All right, take
Hi,
it away,
Vaughn.
Francis.
Thank you, everyone. So, though we are very small here, and I think one left, we're happy to have you. We're live in YouTube, and we're seeing some people in Facebook who sharing the live stream. This is again part one of three of the Road to DevFest. It was a bit clunky at the start since we had technical difficulties, but we will learn from this. We are still starting to get back on track, starting online to offline events. Hopefully, this year we can bring back live events. And I'm happy to welcome you to our first Road to DevFest series. Let me just share my screen. If you're not familiar with who we are, hi, my name is Frances. I'm currently a Women Tech Maker ambassador. I was the community manager for GDG back in 2019. And then we took a pause. If you notice, we did a very big pause during the pandemic. I hope everyone is okay and safe in their places. And as we open again the country, the world to travel and in person events, we hope to also bring that back in Cebu. So, welcome. We're excited to have you here and happy Saturday. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday with us. And this quick intro is just actually for me to introduce you to who we are, what do we stand for? Oh, stand for talaga. May pinagdadaanan. Who are we? Why are we doing this? And what's our goal in creating these events for everyone? So again, we're not from Google. We are just volunteers. We believe that creating environments like this allows people to get to know each other. So if you haven't, please introduce yourself in the chat. You can turn on your webcam so that hindi lang yung face ko makikita, like anyone else who wants to, have a smile. And then if you are in YouTube and you want to join us in Zoom, please do. We are, oh, someone joined just because of this. Thank you so much. If but you're in YouTube and you want to join us, join the fun. You can see our faces here. Please join us in Zoom. We have prizes later on. We'll be giving away swags, if you know what I mean. But yeah, introduce yourself in the chat. You drop some social media accounts. Take this time to network. We also want to give you the opportunity to meet locals from Cebu. If you're not from Cebu, from Manila, just to get to know, meet some friends, because this is the time for you to attend events like this as we bring back physical events. Sounds good. Let me hear like an emoji naman dyan, because it's really hard to actually host and give a talk online, because you can't see anybody, you don't know baka may something sa nose mo dyan. But yeah, like, we're happy to have you here. Thank you so much for celebrating spending your Saturday with us. So I have two main agenda for you. One is to talk about women tech makers, because I am part of that. I'm a women tech maker ambassador, so we do events to promote women in technology, hoping to have more women join science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So women tech makers provide community visibility and resources to help all women and men to thrive in tech. So in the ambassador, so I'm part of the ambassador program. So it's actually started before. Women WTM leads were a different part of GDG. But in 2014, it was launched to promote diversity. And 2019, we rebranded it into ambassadors, so that we expand the reach and the role of ambassadors. And if you're wondering, can I be an ambassador? Yes, you can. You can po. Pwede po tayong lahat. I will send links later on so that you can get to know what Women Tech Makers is all about. How can you get to know other WTMs in your area? Saan po tayo nag-meet? And a lot of that. But in 2022, today we are growing, and we hope that one of you here can also be a part of that amazing program. So I see some chats. Let me see if there's someone here. Yes, welcome to the new people who just came in. So yeah, I'm just talking about Women Tech Makers and how can you become part of it too. So if you go to developers.google.com/women tech makers, you will see a lot more initiatives of this program. So basically, we really hope to provide visibility and empowerment to women and allies as well. So if you want to become an ambassador, you can see here what you need to do to be an ambassador. As long as you create events, you help promote women empowerment in your city or in your state, you can do that. If you want, like, if you have questions for me, I'll drop my social media links below so that you can chat me afterwards. But yeah, there is an ongoing ambassador program application until October 31st. So you can check that out. Our responsibility is actually to organize events like this. You can either deliver a talk if you're confident, you can create resources and just be visible, inspire other women as well to be part of the program. I was very lucky and fortunate that earlier this year, I was able to travel to Bali to join other women tech makers in Southeast Asia. So it was an amazing opportunity, and I got to meet a lot of women all across Southeast Asia and then hear their stories, And in the Philippines, we're very lucky because there's not a lot of gap between men and women in the industry. Correct me if I'm wrong, if there's other people who have bigger gaps. I hope to hear your stories as well. But from my experience, like there are a lot of women leaders as well in the Philippines. So we're really lucky. In other cities and other countries, there's really huge gap in wage, in position. So we get to talk about it. Another thing that I want to promote is the I Am Remarkable program. And you can see my search history. Di naman tayo. It's safe naman. But yeah, the I Am Remarkable program is also an amazing opportunity that you can join. So this is entirely free. So if you want to learn more how to empower yourself and empower others, be a part of the conversation to build up and promote diversity and inclusion, represent underrepresented groups, and celebrate our achievements in the workplace and beyond, this is the program for you. Okay, do I have questions? Wala naman. You're just like saying meeting to each other. Okay. Good naman, you're meeting each other. Are you still listening to me? Can I get a hep char? Can you put an emoji if you're listening to me and I'm still audible? Walang No one is listening to me.
Hooray.
Hep hep. Okay, hooray. Thank you so much to my supportive organizers. So as to close out the Women Tech Makers plug, as of 2021, we have reached 400,000 people worldwide. And that's 80,000 members. And we hope to grow this in the next coming year. So if you are interested to be part of this program, just go to developers.google.com/women tech makers. Another thing that I wanted to share is the Google Developers Group. This is the people here. If you see the background images with the Road to DevFest, they are a part of the volunteer program. Again, we're not paid. Siguro we're paid by food and love and, with the passion to actually build communities and make sure that everyone, can learn from the experts that we have. So DevFest is coming this year, and we hope to make it both offline and online. So we have Road to DevFest. So those who are not yet comfortable going to an in-person event, that's fine. We hope to bring these talks to you. So Arnel, our speaker, our Google developer expert from Cebu, we'll hear and talk about that later on. But yeah, DevFest is coming, and it's organized by Google Developers Group Cebu. We are celebrating our 15th year anniversary next year. So we just celebrated back in 2018 and our 10th year. So medyo we need also more young individuals who wants to join the organizing team. So wag na natin alamin kung anong age ni Ate Sis, but being in this organization for the past 7 years, I've grown a lot and I owe a lot to the community. So if you want to know more about GDG and Google Developers Group, we are actually not just in Cebu. It's a lot of chapters worldwide. So if you're from Manila, I know that there's a chapter in your nearest city. Just check them out. And if you go to gg.community.dev, you will see all the chapters across the globe. So if you're not joining us from Cebu, you can also find us here. And upcoming events in your region. So just select the city. So let's say Philippines. We have a lot of chapters in the Philippines now. Excuse me. I think we're about 7 or 8. Yon, medyo marami po tayo. So yon, you just need to find the city nearest to you. And if they do online events like this, you don't need to be enclosed into one chapter. Join everything that you can, because most of these events are free. The only time that you need to pay if we give out swags na hindi na po kaya ng budget namin. So if we give out swag like t-shirts, food, normally we sponsor, like our sponsors like give us budget to hold events. That's why we post like call for sponsors, because we have different partners working with us, making sure that everyone can learn, network, and grow in this experience. So there's also a lot of resources. If you go to developers.google.com, you can see like different functions, different tech stack that you can learn from. I think Mark will share more about the certification later. But yeah, if this is your first time to join GDG event, just coming from me, I owe a lot to the community. There's a lot of growth. There's a lot of experience that you can learn. Not just being a participant. If you want to be more and then volunteer, you can learn organization skills, like people skills. And yeah, it's a really good experience. So for GDG Cebu, here we are. We do talks, code labs, roadshows, and live viewing parties such as this, seminars. And our next event is DevFest. I am showing you a video. Wait, let me try if I can show a video here. If kaya, if I have the time. Share sound. Oh, I can't. Wait, let me try. Do you see my Facebook and also all of the chats of people? Yes? Okay. Yeah. So this is one of the biggest events that we had. I can't find any SDEs in the past couple of years. So I hope the 5 years history will give you a bit of a feel of what DevFest is all about. Yeah, and just to close this off, are you pumped that DevFest is coming back to Cebu live? Diba? Thank you for the for the background song, Mari. Thank you so much. And we have a lot of people coming in. So yeah, I hope that makes you happy to be part of this community. I'm hope that I can meet you in person soon. And if you have other questions and you want to connect with us, let me just share my contact details. And again, I'll just flash again the community so that you can be a part of it. Let me just slideshow this. So Google Developers Group, we are in Facebook, and check out our social media accounts and our website. For Women Tech Makers, check it out. We have with wtm.ggcebu.org, and of course, search WTM Cebu. And if you have questions for me, these are my socials, and this is not yet updated, but I also have a podcast if you want to check it out. Most of our speakers in DevFest have been a part of the podcast. It's not updated, but yeah, I hope we get to connect soon. So I'm glad that you spend your Saturday with us. You know, we started off rough, technical difficulties, but I'm glad that you're here. So I'm going to pass it back to Mark to talk about certifications for you to take with Google developers. Go, Mark.
Okay, thank you so much, Francis. I wasn't expecting it to be passed again to me. Okay, so let's just talk about Google Developer Certification. Hold on, let me try to share my screen here. Wait, I can't share. Oh, it's here. Hold on. Certification. Okay, so as what was Francis were speaking, road to Google Developer Certification. So, okay, first of all, what is Google Developer Certification? Why do we need that? So it's a certification that lets you demonstrate your proficiency and skill. Ooh. Okay, so after you pass a certification exam, you can use it to promote yourself to the communities, projects, or even to your employers that are important to you. So all the certification exams are backed by rich training content offered as an online curriculum, and it's instructor led and also self-study. Given materials were also handed over. So when you pass a certification exam, you can be featured in the official certification directory, and you can include your digital mark in your email signature and embed it on sites such as LinkedIn and Twitter. So there are multiple certifications that are available. You can do Google Play Store listing certificate for those who are in the digital mobile marketing. They will It's like a certification for the foundational knowledge of digital mobile marketing, best practices, and how to build store listings and Google Play Store console. Um, there's also associate Android developer certificate to demonstrate the type of skill that an entry-level Android developer should have as they begin their career. There's also TensorFlow developer certificate. Kaway-kaway mga AI people dyan. So it's uh, an exam to test a developer's foundational knowledge of integrating machine learning into tools and applications. Uh, we also have certifications in Google Cloud for professional cloud architect, professional data engineering, and associate cloud engineer. So a lot of things that you can utilize for our advancement of our careers and just to promote our skills in probably social media and wherever we want to promote. So Road to Google Developer Certification, it's a community-run events for developers who wants to increase their knowledge about Google Cloud or prepare for a certification. So it's not just for Google Cloud, as I mentioned. There are also a bunch of certifications that is readily available. So these events are hosted by our Google Developer Groups community that help local developers connect and learn more about Google technologies. So we will learn together as a community to get support from experts and other fellow developers. So we have event types. So one is through Cloud Study Jams. So it's like a workshop and we get practical experiences on site. I'm not sure if we did an online cloud study jam. I'm not sure. With the other people that I'm here with, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we had. Usually, our cloud study jams are like on site, right? Okay, so we also have certification study groups. I think we did a little bit of this back in CIT a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken. So it's like weekly sessions over how many weeks to prepare for a Google Cloud certification. Um, we also have Cloud Hero, like a hands-on games where you can prove your skills and compete with other developers. So how do we join these events, or how does it work? So you can register. We will be posting these kinds of events. We'll be having any in our social media pages in GDG Cebu. So if you would like to subscribe, click like and subscribe to our pages. That would be awesome. And then you can register, and we will tell you the details on how to join in these events. So it can probably be online or on site. It depends. So stay tuned, and yeah, just keep on learning. Other materials are also available as well. If you have any more questions, you can just hit us up in our inbox in GDG Cebu, and we will try to respond as early as we can. Okay. And I think that's it for Road to Google Developer Certification. And I'll pass you now to Elram for uh, giving us a bit of an intro on what do you call this? On what is DSC. So, Elram, take it away.
Thank you for that, Mark. So, for those of you who are familiar, I guess there are some people here in the Zoom. Uh, Hello, here. Can you see my screen? I'll
Yes.
share my audio. Anyway. Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm a former DSA lead of Cebu Institute of Technology University last 2019 to 2020. So DSE stands for Developer Student Clubs. It is an initiative by Google developers worldwide. So here in the Philippines, we have, I think, uh, or before when I was a lead, we had, I think, 100 for Southeast Asia, and it ballooned to about 230 chapters for Southeast Asia, and about uh, more than 1,000 worldwide. So for developer student clubs, we help thousands of student developers learn and work with their communities to solve real life problems. So our goal is to create impact students, and empower them through impact to impact their communities through Google technologies. So DSC, it bridges the gap between theory and practice. So as you can see in this wonderful illustration here, this is theory and practice that is bridged by developer student clubs. So our vision is for developer student clubs to be the chosen program for students in universities wanting to grow as developers. And our mission, this was last 2019, which is for developer student clubs to grow to 1,000 universities across the globe, reaching 200,000 student developers who build solutions powered by Google technologies for local problems in their communities. So these are the current Southeast Asian countries that have developer student clubs. So ours, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, and Vietnam. So for our chapter, it is right now, I think, the fourth consecutive year that we have a new Google developer lead, Google student developer lead. And this is a picture of our summit that I can share to you. So this was in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So if you want to, I think this is also the last time that we had a physical like summit, since this is before the pandemic. and the upcoming chapters after this was all online. So it is still thriving in those different communities or universities. And this is the pioneering leads. So I'm there at the back during that time. So this is 2019, I think. Yeah. So an overview of what you can do in team in developer student clubs. So we have what we call core teams in different universities where we have DSC lead, their faculty advisors, and then we have technical and non-technical subdivisions or groups in the team. So that's where technical is where developers and speakers, for example, can go to so they can showcase their talents, and non-technical for partnerships and programs, and also media and creatives for social media postings and the likes. So as you can see, developer student clubs is the first to the professional journey for being part of the Google communities here. So for example, after developer student clubs, students after graduating can go to GBG or GDG and go beyond that, which is Google Experts and Google Launchpad. We also have women tech makers, where Frances told us before Mark's talk. So yeah, if you're interested, these are all our available communities, as well as after graduating, where students can go to. So the community makes meaningful and lasting impact in community through technology. So we want DSC students to learn together and to establish a culture of building software. So this is an example of our meetings or online and offline events. So on the lower right, it is before the pandemic. So Mark talked about cloud study jams. So students can also be part of free cloud study jams whenever there are postings or some community managers want to disseminate information for specific Google technologies. So it is also a part of being part of developer student clubs. So this is also an example of our events, other events. So we have dev talks, info sessions on specific universities, but it is also not limited to that, since we also partner up with international communities, DSC communities, and also local or national communities. And it's also not, it's also part of being dev community that we help beneficiaries. So an example of this is, as you can see on the screen, it's a programming challenge headed last year, I think, by our second DSC lead in CITU, where we give back to the community through fundraising programming challenge. And here's a short video on our last summit in 2019, our physical summit. Can you hear my?
No, Ram.
Okay, wait. How about now?
Yes.
I'm really excited about this summit because I get to learn a lot of new stuff, and DSC really helps me to identify and make my skills grow.
DSCs are university-based student groups that come together and learn Google technology from each other.
In DSC, I could not only learn about technical skills related about technology, but also here I could learn about soft skills like leadership, communication, and also mentoring.
I've been developing NLP-based web applications at school, and with the Google technologies I learned at the summit, I'm looking forward to taking my project to the next level.
We expanded developer student clubs this year to more universities and more countries across Southeast Asia. It is this summit where their journey begins. Over the next 2 days, DSC leads learn vital technical, problem solving, and leadership skills from Googlers and industry experts before they go back to their universities to train more students, build projects, and contribute back to the community.
The most memorable part of this summit is when we met other DC leads from different countries, learning their culture and sharing the same goal, and that is helping our fellow students with the use of technology.
The sessions that was most useful for me was how to build community, how to focus and respect the audience.
It's crucial that students are able to see the big picture and prepare themselves for their professional career. And that's what DSC does. It gives them a path for the future.
The DSC journey helped me build my passion in one area of technology and grow my career.
We want you to start connecting with, understand your community, understand your university, see what's going on in your city, talk to businesses, talk to NGOs, talk to your university, identify problem statements, and then work as a group to solve those problems and actually build solutions.
I'd like to make sure that no one in my community is left behind.
We're so excited to work with you all DSC leads from across the region, to see your career grow and support you solve local problems and create impact in your communities.
So that was DSC community. So for more info, you can visit this link, gdsc.community.dev. And thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Elram, for that information. Truly, DSC helps build the careers of our future engineers, right, to our students. So very great opportunity, and I do encourage our students to take up in this initiative and join the community in your universities. All right, so okay, so we just want to say, okay, so we're supposed to have Cleo, so this is sad news. So we were about to have the topic on creating a parameter system with Firebase, so it's a bit exciting, but sad to say that Cleo won't be able to join us. So, but we will be having her on a later date, so still stay tuned. But for now, we're going to introduce you to Arnel, our next speaker. Arnel is a software developer at New Logic and our Google Developer Expert for Web Technologies. He's an active volunteer and a speaker for GDG Cebu and also other tech communities. When he's not busy experimenting with new web APIs, he can also be seen taking photos, playing video games, or practicing his card tricks. His talk is about building a video calling app using web technologies and Firebase. So let's welcome Arnel Balane.
Arnel, you're on mute.
Yes, I had to look for the unmute button. Wait, let me. Okay, I have to see everyone so that I don't feel alone online. Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to Road to DevFest. Yes, please admit Trisha Ray. Okay. For the first Road to DevFest, I'm Arnal. And yes, this is the first session or like talk. Okay, actually last for today, where we will be building our own video calling app with web technologies and Firebase. Quick intro. Yes, I'm Arnal. I'm software dev at New Logic and GDE for web. And yeah, I write and experiment about random web stuff. So yeah, in case you need to refer back again to the slides later, you can grab a copy of the slides here. I'll give you 5 seconds to take a screenshot. Okay, 5 seconds is up. So anyway, yes, we'll in this talk, I will be building a video calling app. So we know what video calling apps are, right? Like it allows us to call other people. And in the past 2 years, especially like with the pandemic and lockdowns and stuff, they've been very helpful with like services like Zoom or Google Meet. They've been really helpful in like allowing us to continue like being able to work or attend our classes and generally connecting with other people. So yeah, so in this session, we are going to build our own as if we need a new video calling app. But in this case, we won't be building the next Zoom or the next Google Meet. We'll be focusing on like understanding, exploring, experimenting how it works under the hood. What are the concepts behind video calling apps? So in this talk, we will have two parts. First will be how we can use WebRTC, which is the core technology behind web-based video calling apps, and understand the concepts behind it. And the second part will be focusing on how we can use Firebase to improve our very simple video calling app. So let's get started with the concept. So in this concepts part, we will mostly focus on like different concepts, and then at the end we'll bring them all together and hopefully see how they all work together. So generally, video calling apps on the web, they use WebRTC. So WebRTC is a technology that enables like direct peer-to-peer connection on the browser. So it allows us to like basically for a video calling app call other people directly. And generally, video calling apps on the web, they do 5 things. I mean, if you just list down the features. First is to like get the video and audio that you need to stream to your other call participants. So that could be like from a camera or your microphone or the screen. Second thing that video calling apps need to do is to determine network information. So they need to know how other call participants can connect to them directly. So in order to know that, they need to determine like what are their IP address, what are their public IP addresses, what ports to use, etc., how they can connect to each other. Third, video calling apps need to determine what they are capable of in terms of media capabilities. So for example, like my browser only supports like 720p, for example. I can only play MP4 videos. So those needs to be determined by a video calling app. Why can't I next? Okay. 4. And this is like where most of the code will be written. A video calling app needs to facilitate communications between peers. We call them peers, or like two people who are calling each other. To initiate or close a call, like someone could say, I want to call you, the other person will answer the call. So we need to be able to facilitate that and also exchange like network and media information between the two call participants. And finally, a video calling app needs to be able to stream audio and video to call participants, right? If it can't do that, then might as well make a chat app. So let's take a look at like different APIs, technologies, concepts that will allow us to basically implement or achieve all of these tasks that video calling apps need to do. And first of them is the media stream API. So media streams, I think it's obvious from the name, they represent a stream of media content, could be audio or video or both. So we can get on the web, we can get media streams from 3 different places. So we could call like get user media to get like a media stream from a media input device, for example, a camera or microphone. And if you've seen this prompt in the screenshot where it asks you to like, it asks you that the page you're viewing wants to use your camera, that happens when you call the get user media API. And it's pretty powerful. So you can provide constraints like I want to request like this specific resolution of video. I want video only without audio, or audio only without video, or you can request like I want to use the front camera or rear camera. So you can provide all those options. Second place where we can get a media stream is using the get display media API, which will give us a media stream of a user's display device. And this is what we use Like for example, in Google Meet, you share your screen. This is the API that enables that functionality. So it can share an entire screen or a tab or a specific window. And even recently, you can also like share just a specific element on the page, which is interesting. And finally, we can get a media stream from a canvas element. So this is used, I saw this used, I think in Google Meet, like they have a whiteboard feature where you'll share a whiteboard, you can draw whatever, and then it gets streamed to the call participants. So I didn't check the code, and I don't code for Google Meet, but if I have to guess, it's probably a canvas where you can draw lines and shapes and whatever. And then they just call capture stream on that canvas, and then that gets streamed to the call participants. That's also cool. And for our like example now, we'll just keep it simple. We'll just get video, audio from camera and mic using get user media, and then store it in the media stream variable, and then we're done with that part. So now we have a media stream. Next, we need to establish a connection between two participants of a call. And we do that using the RTC peer connection API. So RTC peer connection represents a connection between two participants. And from here on now, we will call them peers. So a peer is someone who is connected directly to another peer. So to create a new peer connection, we simply create a new instance of RTC peer connection, store it in a variable, and then we have an object that represents a direct peer-to-peer connection. So if you and your friend, you're calling each other, both of you need to have your own RTC peer connection object. And just to simplify some terms for later, in your case, you are the local peer because it's you. And then your friend who lives somewhere in the world, they are the remote peer. So from your friend's perspective also, they are the local and then you are the remote. And then with those two things, you have a direct peer-to-peer connection to each other. And that's how you create a peer connection. It's not yet connected to each other, just create the object. And now that we have a peer connection, and also earlier we have a media stream, we can add our media stream, which is our video, audio, into the peer connection. So in order for any media stream to be streamed to the other peers, and they need to be added to the peer connection. So that's how we do it. Each media stream can have multiple tracks, one for audio, one for video, something like that. You have to add each track to the peer connection. And then later on, once both peers are successfully connected, it will automatically stream all media tracks that you added to the peer connection. So just make sure you add your media stream first. Third concept. So we now have a media stream, we now have a peer connection. Let's now talk about what we call ICE, or interactive connectivity establishment. Just remember ICE. So ICE is ICE is a technique for like determining the network information of each peer. So it is ICE that determines, okay, what is my public IP address? How can you connect to me? And this is interactive in a way that WebRTC will automatically decide or choose which is the best way for the two peers to connect to each other. And this is where a lot of concepts needs to be discussed. Okay, you can ignore the cloud at the top. I just stole this photo from the internet. But basically in a peer-to-peer connection, you are on the left, your friend is on the right, you're trying to call each other. And in an ideal world, each device will have its own public IP address, right? Like if I want to connect to my peer's computer, I just connect to its public IP address and it will be fine. But in the real world, that's not the case. All of us are behind like firewalls and NATs and stuff. We don't even know our public IP address because we most likely don't have one. So it's more complicated and we need to use a lot of other tools. One of those is called the stun server. And the other one is called the relay server or the turn server. We'll take a look at the next slide. So STAN, which stands for Session Traversal Utilities for NAT. You don't need to know the meaning, just remember STAN. It's like it's just a simple server that your computer or your browser will ping, and it will basically just ask, what's my IP address, what's my port, and then the STAN server just return, okay, I see you as this public IP and this port. That's what STAN does. It's very simple. Turn, on the other hand, stands for traversal using relay NAT. You don't also need to remember that. I can't even remember that. So what turn does is, in case direct peer-to-peer connection is not possible, for example, some company's firewall is so strict that it doesn't allow Google Meet, then it doesn't allow like peer-to-peer connections. WebRTC can choose to relay data or like the video streams through a turn server, and that is what the relay server is for. So let's go back to the diagram and like trace what happens. Again, ignore the cloud. We will talk about that later. So you are behind your firewall or not. Your friend is behind your firewall or not. You want to connect to each other, but you don't know how to because you don't know your friend's IP address. So what your computer will basically do is ask a STAN server, hey, what's my public IP address? STAN server will tell you, here's your public IP address. And once you know your public IP address and other information, you will send that to this cloud that we will discuss later. Your friend will receive that. Your friend will do the same also, like ask a STAN server, what's my public IP address? STAN server will return, here's your public IP address. Your peer will also send that to you through the cloud that we'll talk about later. Then now you know, both you and your friend know as to how to connect to each other. You know your public IP addresses and other information. Then if direct connection is possible, then you are now connected. If direct connection is not possible, ICE will also try to like determine if can we relay your streams through a relay server. And if it is, then that's what it will do. This will be like done like interactively. ICE will try like each options and then see what's like the most appropriate or like the best option to do. And the nice thing is we don't have to worry about all of this. Like I'm just explaining the concepts in code. You don't even have to write anything related to this, maybe except for one line. And other things, other terms to be familiar with are ICE candidates. So an ICE candidate is like a potential option for establishing a peer-to-peer connection. So an ICE candidate could be like direct connection. An ICE candidate could be relay through a turn server. So you can have multiple ICE candidates depending on like your network or like where you are connected to. And we have a process called like finding candidates, which is just determining all of these ICE candidates that can be used. So many terms, sounds complicated maybe, but in code, we just have to pass options to RTC peer connection. So when we create a new RTC peer connection object, we just pass like the URLs to the ICE servers that we want to use. For example, this peer connection will use this free public STAN server from Google to determine what their public IP address and port are. And then under the hood, WebRTC will take care of doing the WebRTC will take care of finding ICE candidates and calling these STAN and turn servers, etc. So that's ICE. Maybe to summarize, it just determines all possible options for two peers to connect and then chooses the best one. Concept number 4, we call it SDP, or the Session Description Protocol. Don't remember that, just remember SDP. You can forget about this concept later. But this is like a format that describes a peer's network and media information. And it looks like this. It is very intimidating. You'll probably never look at an SDP again ever, even if you code WebRTC. But it's in this format where network information like the IP addresses, media capabilities, and everything related to you or your friend are stored. So for example, let's highlight some important, useful like information from the SDP. We can see from here that you want to share like a video track because earlier, if you remember, we added a video our video from our camera to our peer connection. So it gets described in the SDP. Here we see our public IP address, which ICE determined from like a start server. Here we can see all the ICE candidates. So we have 3. One of them is like, if you are on the same network, like you can just access through localhost and stuff using UDP for like lower latency. If that doesn't work, then try TCP. And another option is like through the public IP address that was determined through STUN. So things like that. And finally, we have the media capabilities like VP8 or H.264. I think VP8 is usually the codec for WebM videos, if I remember. And then H.264 is MP4. I don't know. But yes, these are all like described in a format called SDP. This is a very simplified version. I have to remove like, I don't know, 80% of the full SDP, but these are like the important ones. So you don't have to worry about this. Just adding it here for like completeness. But WebRTC will take care of all of this under the hood. We just have to make sure that we add our media streams to the peer connection. We configure like STUN servers, turn servers, pass them to the ICE servers config, and then this is like the most magic part of WebRTC. And finally, no, it's not finally. This is like third from the last. Concept number 5 is signaling. This is the cloud in the diagram that I stole from the internet. So signaling is the most complicated part. It's only most complicated because we have to write the most code for this. So signaling facilitates communication between peers. So WebRTC doesn't provide a signaling mechanism out from its like API. So we have to do it ourselves. So in signaling, this is where we do basically app-specific functionalities. For example, someone wants to start a call, someone answers a call, someone ends a call, someone leaves a call, 5 other people joins the call. All of those like app-specific functionalities, we need to facilitate those communications. And yeah, most important part also is to exchange SDPs within like from peer to peer. So you remember what SDP, right? It describes everything about you, your IP address, your media stuff, and then you have to send that to your friend that you're trying to call, and your friend needs to send their own SDP to you, so you know how to connect to each other. So that is done through signaling, which is this cloud from the stolen diagram. So signaling, you can use whatever signaling mechanism you want, as long as it allows like two-way communications, like from your app to a server, and then your server to your app. Like one option maybe could be like just the simple fetch API combined with server sent events. So fetch API can like send data from browser to server sent events can send data from server to browser. So you have like a two-way communication already. I think the most common way would be through WebSockets, which is probably the de facto two-way communication API on the web. And when we switch to Firebase later, we'll be using WebSockets. I mean, Firebase will be using WebSockets. And finally, this is not really a signaling option, but for our example, we'll start with a web app that works locally. So we'll try the broadcast channel API, which allows sending data between two browser tabs on the same device. So we'll start with that because we'll switch to Firebase later. So first, let's initialize our signaling mechanism using broadcast channel API. So let's create a new instance. And so now here comes the web video calling app part. So let's say you want to call your friend. First thing that you need to do is to create what we call an offer. Don't be confused with the term. Offer is really just an SDP of yourself, your local SDP. They just call it offer. But it will return just the SDP representing your device. And then you need to set that as your local like peer. That's what these snippets of code do. Step 2. After you create your offer, you need to send that to your friend that you're trying to call. And you can do that through the signaling mechanism, whatever you are using. So in our case, you're using broadcast channel. So we just post a message. The actual offer part, the actual offer SDP is here. You can structure your data however way you want. 3, so you've sent your offer. Your friend that you're trying to call needs to receive that offer through the signaling mechanism. So again, whatever signaling mechanism you want, you use, you can receive the offer. And after receiving the offer, your friend needs to set your offer as the remote peer in their own RTC peer connection. So remember, you and your friend need to have their own. Each need to have their own RTC peer connection. And then in your case, you are local, your friend is remote. From your friend, they are the local, you are the remote. So your friend needs to set you as the remote peer. This is what this line is doing. 5, so after receiving an offer, your friend then needs to create what we call an answer, which again is just an SDP describing themselves, like all their network information, media capabilities. It's stored in an SDP, which we will call an answer. And then your friend sets their answer as their local peer. So from your friend, they are now complete, right? They now know you're remote and then they are local. So the next thing that your friend needs to do is send their answer back to you through the signaling mechanism, whatever it is. So the SDP is here, answer that to JSON to convert it to JSON format and send it through the signaling mechanism. This is specific to broadcast channel, but whatever two-way communication mechanism you're using, just find a way to send it. And finally, your friend sends the answer, you receive it again through the signaling mechanism, and then you set that answer as your remote peer. So at this point, you already have both a local and remote. Your friend also already have like their local and remote peers, and basically your connection is established. You now have a peer-to-peer connection between yourselves, and that's it. Automatically, the media stream data that you added to your peer connections, they will be sent to each other, to the other peer automatically. So we're almost done creating a basic video calling app. Just a couple more things, which are events. So first event that we need to handle is the on ICE candidate event. This gets sent whenever a new ICE candidate is determined or is available. For example, when does this happen? Like, for example, when you change Wi-Fi connections, for example, or your IP address changes, for example, other ways why it might change. Your peer connection object will emit an on ICE candidate event. And basically what you have to do is send that new ICE candidate to your friend or to the other peer so that they know they have an updated information how to connect to you. And again, your friend will receive the new ICE candidate through your signaling method, and we'll just call add ICE candidate, which is what you've passed to them. And last event is the on-track event, which is sent whenever a media stream from the other peer arrives. So remember, I added my video media stream to my peer connection. Once my connection is established, that media gets sent or streamed to my friend. And then in that case, from my friends browser, their peer connection will fire or send an on-track event. And basically what they just have to do is display that media stream or that video in their UI so they can see my video being streamed live. And that's it. Demo time. Let's see how it works. The very basic version. Will it even work? That is the question. So I have here, because we're using broadcast channel as the signaling mechanism. So for now, it will only work between two of my browser tabs. We'll change it later, don't worry. So here we have, this will be me. The browser on the right will be my friend. And in establishing a connection, someone always needs to initiate the call. I will just call it the call because we're building a video calling app. So someone needs to start a call. As you can see, oh yeah, this is the get user media call. To get a media stream, it will ask for permission to use my camera and phone. Wait, let me mute the tab first so that I don't get feedback. Start call, allow. And you can see I can now call myself, which is very useless feature. So, but that works. I don't have a way to change cameras, but just read the code, you'll know that it's working. It's not a scam. So yeah, so in from mic on the left side is my local video, basically is the one on the top. And then the bottom video is like from my friend, which is myself, or the other tab. But here we can see that both browsers, both tabs are able to call each other. Let's added some logs. Here we can see the full SDP, or like session description I don't remember what it means. Session description protocol. So for myself, so it's actually very long, not just 20 lines that I showed earlier. It contains additional options, but the idea is the same. Like for example, you can see here that my media also has an audio track. Okay, I don't know what we're looking for actually, but you don't need to read this unless you're debugging stuff. So that's done. What do we do next? As you can see, I don't handle this connection properly, but that's fine. Demos don't need to be perfect. Let's just close that. So demo time, if you want to check the code, like the full code so far, it's linked here. Actually, I was already so thinking of just showing it here. So let's just take a look at the complete file so we know where things go into. So it's actually very short, just 100 lines. And this is 100 lines because I had to break it down into like functions and stuff. You can do this probably in like 40 lines of code or something. But let's see. So some UI stuff, start call button stuff. As you can see here, we added the events for like ICE candidate and the track events. So whenever we get a new ICE candidate, we send it to the remote peer, which have functions that are very nicely named. And whenever we receive a track, we just display that on the UI. Here's our signaling mechanism, which listens for events. Whenever we receive an offer, we receive it, set it as the remote peer, get our video stream, add it to the peer connection, create an answer, and then send that answer back to the caller. Whenever we receive an answer, we just take that answer and then set that as the remote peer. And whenever we receive a candidate, just add it as a ICE candidate here somewhere. And when the start call button is called, is clicked, we just initiate the call by creating our media stream, adding it to the peer connection, create an offer, and then send that offer to the remote peer. Very simple. So how did we get our media stream? So this is what I mentioned earlier. You can add additional constraints to your media stream. For example, I can request to have a 1080p video. Yes, that's how you do it. There are more options available. You can read that on your own in the docs. And when we display a media stream, we just create a video element and then just render it into the page. So very straightforward. Really the confusing part with writing WebRTC, if you follow the flow like step by step, it makes sense. But when you get into code, it gets confusing in the beginning because you have to think both as the caller and the callee at the same time. So sometimes it gets confusing, like this code, who will run it? Is it the caller or the callee? But just keep that in mind and then you'll be fine. What's next? So part 2. Now we have a simple video calling app. But it's very limited, like it only works offline between 2 browser tabs. There's only one call. You can't have like something like Google Meet right now. You can start a call or something. and then you get a unique URL. And then when you share that URL, a lot of people can call. In our case, we're limited to just 2 participants. And yeah, it's not so nice. So we're going to make some changes to it. First feature that we're going to add is to allow multiple calls to happen at the same time. So each call will have its unique URL that we can share to other participants. Second change is to allow multiple call participants, because why not? And then last is to allow anyone online to join, so not just local. So if you share your call link to someone, then they should be able to join. So that's where Firebase will come in. Okay, so when we say we build a video calling app with Firebase, our video stream will not go through Firebase. It will still be like direct peer-to-peer. What we're gonna do is just use Firebase as our signaling mechanism, because if you remember earlier, signaling mechanism needs to be able to do like two-way communications, right? And Firebase does exactly that. Like you can write to the Firestore database, but you can also like get notified, or you can also watch like a database collection and then get notified whenever there are changes, like something gets added, changed, removed. So yeah, Firebase seems to be a viable option to do it. It's up for you to decide if it's the best. Should try other things also, but basically how to get started. We'll skip most of these parts. So we need to create a Firebase project. So go to Firebase console, create a new project, give your project a name, and then make sure that Firestore is enabled. So when you click on build, there's a Firestore database here. This is already enabled, but if it's not, in your case, if it's not yet enabled, there's going to be a button that says create database, I think. And then just fill in whatever they ask for. And then second, we need to install Firebase LI. Yes, we need to install Firebase LI. So we do that from our terminal, install it globally. I already have it installed, so I won't do it. And then we then need to initialize Firebase in our project. So we do like Firebase init. Yeah, it will ask us which Firebase features we're going to use. In this case, we're going to use Firestore. We're going to use hosting because we'll deploy it into Firebase, hosting. And then, yeah, normally we just need Firestore. If you want to deploy it to Firebase, then enable hosting. We're also going to enable emulator so you can test locally, but I already enabled it, so I won't run it. And then just follow the prompts in Firebase, and then it will create some files. For example, here's your Firebase config. Here's your Firestore rules. Yeah, apparently I enabled functions when I created this, but yes. And next, we'll now focus on like how we can switch our signaling mechanism from an offline only like broadcast channel API to using Firebase Cloud Firestore. Let me full screen. So first, let's take a look at how we're going to structure our Firestore database. So Firestore is a NoSQL database that allows like real-time updates. So you can each piece of data that's stored in Firestore is called like a document. So it's like one record, and then these documents are grouped together in collections. So basically, you can have a calls collection that will contain all your calls data. And also in Firestore, you can nest collections inside each other. So for example, our calls connection. Oops. For example, our calls connection for each call could have a collection of participants, and each participant can have a collection of peers, because this time will allow multiple participants to join the call. And we'll also store ICE candidates here. But this will be our basic like Firestore database structure. So whenever someone starts a call, we just add a new call record. Whenever someone joins a call, we just add a new participant record inside the participants collection, inside the call that they're trying to join. So I think it makes sense. So just some prerequisites. We're going to import everything that we need. We're gonna import them directly from Firebase or like the Google CDN. And we'll also use like Firebase, the latest Firebase JS SDK, which is, I believe, version 9, which is modular, which is nice, but also confusing sometimes. Yes. So we're just gonna import, these are all the things that we're gonna need in the app. We'll see how they're used later. And in this case, so within our project, we don't have any build tools like Webpack or Vite or something, but it will work because the web has ES modules now. So we can build our video calling app with Firebase, just with vanilla HTML as JavaScript, just like the good old days. And first, let's initialize our app. So after creating your Firebase project, you'll be provided with some config stuff, which we can see project settings and web app, I guess. And then here's our config. I think we can copy paste this if we want, but we need to initialize our app so that our app, we need to initialize Firebase in our app so that our app knows which Firebase project to connect to. So it looks like this. Just copy paste it from Firebase console. And then since we're going to use Firestore, then we also get our Firestore object. So yeah, enough. That's all we need for like housekeeping stuff, prerequisite stuff, setting up. Let's get started with migrating our signaling mechanism to Firebase. So first, when someone wants to start a call, we'll just assume the URL will look like this. So HTTPS, whatever our URL is, and then we have a URL param called call ID, which could be whatever call ID that they want. So in our Firestore, it will appear like this. So whenever someone visits this link, we are going to add a new call ID if it doesn't exist yet, and then add, if I'm the first participant, or yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm the first or second or third, we add ourselves into the participants collection inside that call document. So here's how that looks like in code. Get the call ID from the URL. We get a reference to the participants collection using the collection function. So here we are basically just trying to get this participants collection here. So we start from the root Firestore database, get the calls document, get the calls collection, and then get the specific document for our call, and get the participants collection inside that. And then we just add a new document inside the participants, and then we can provide additional information here. For example, what's the name of the participant? What's their profile picture, for example. In our case, we don't need that in the app, so just leave it empty. And in this case, it will return a randomly generated like unique ID for this document. And if you look at in the Firestore console, we will see something like this. So we have calls, then this is the call ID. We have the participants collection, and then here's our first participant of the call. That's like a randomly generated unique ID. Okay, second part. What if someone joins our call? So a second person visits the same URL. In this case, we'll basically just do the same thing. Add that person or that peer, that participant into the participants collection. And that's it. So adding them to the collection doesn't establish a peer-to-peer connection yet. So we have to do that ourselves in our app's code. So if you remember earlier in the first part where we talked about WebRTC, in order to start a call, someone needs to start a call, right? So someone needs to make an offer, send that to the other peer. The peer needs to receive that offer, make an answer, and then send the answer back to the caller. So in our case, what we'll do is whoever is the new like joiner, we will make that participant send an offer to all existing participants in the call. So basically who's the new joiner, who will initiate a peer-to-peer connection to all like other participants. So in this case, when second participant joins, we will make second participant like get all the existing participants and then give an offer to each one of them. And so that's step one. Step two is, nice thing with Firestore is it can listen for real-time changes. So whenever there are new records added into the peers collection, first participant can actually like know that nga, okay, something got added. How will I handle this? So second part is for first participant to receive the offer and then make an answer. Third part is for first participant to write back their answer into second participant's peers. Okay, everything is now confusing, but this is the end goal that we want. So first participant will receive an offer from second participant, and once first receives the offer, they will create an answer and then write that answer back to second participant. That's what we're trying to do. So here's how we're going to do it. So first, the new participant needs to know who are all the existing participants. So we'll just use get docs to do that. So it will return all documents inside this given collection reference, and just a simple for loop. So for each participant that already exists, excluding ourselves because we don't want to call ourselves, we create an offer here in line 4. We create an offer. So I'm just hiding it away into a function, but we already know what it is from earlier. Just call like peer connection.create offer and then add it to our local peer. And here we get an offer object, which is, again, if you remember, it's an SDP or session description protocol. And then once we get an offer, we then write that into the peers of the other participants. So you can do that by like calling setdoc, the path or the reference to where you want to write it, and then the data that you want to write, which is just the offer. So in Firestore, that will look like this. So, okay, here's participants, here's the first participant, and inside the first participant's peers, there's a new peer from this second participant, which contains an offer. So inside the offer here, we can see the SDP and then what type of SDP it is, which is an offer. Next, to answer. To answer. So in this case, we are now in the perspective of first participant. In order to know that new data, new records are or were added to the Firestore collection or even to the document, we can use onSnapshot. So onSnapshot will run every time there's a data change in the reference that you pass to it. So in this case, in the peers collection, whenever data is added, removed, or changed, this onSnapshot function will run. So that's what we need. And whenever like a new peer is added, we just get this data. And then if it's an offer, then we answer it. So we already saw earlier how to answer. First, we take the offer, set it as the remote peer. Then we make an answer using like peer connection.create answer, set that answer as our local peer, and then send the answer back to the caller. So here we have an answer, which is an SDP. And then again, what this is doing is write it back to the peers of the caller. So, and then the final step is for the caller to also know that an answer has been returned back to them. So again, we're going to use onSnapshot to watch the peers reference. And whenever data is added and it has an answer, then we just complete the peer connection. So, yep. And in Firestore, it will look like this. Inside second callers, inside second participant's peers, we have a response from first participant, which is an answer. And that's it. Second to the last thing is to share ICE candidates. So remember, ICE candidates are like potential options that can be used to establish a connection between two peers, and it could contain like this specific IP address through a turn server, for example. So we just write them into a candidates collection inside each participant, and we can structure it like this if you want. So whenever an on-ice candidate event is fired on a peer connection, we just write it into the candidates collection with the relevant information. And again, how do we watch for changes in a collection? We use on snapshot. So each participant can watch for changes in their candidates collection, and then whenever a new thing is added, it will just receive that candidate and then add it to its peer connection. It might look something like this. So each participant will have a list of a collection of all candidates from other peers. And yes, and in our code in the app, again, we can listen for changes to the candidates collection using on snapshot. So whenever a new record is added, it will in real time like run some code in our app. And finally, how do we leave a call? So to leave a call, we can just delete our participant from the participants collection. So when they click the leave button, we just delete them from there and then close the window. And all the other remaining participants in the call, again, we'll use on snapshot to know that a participant record has been removed. And when that happens, we just disconnect. They will just disconnect from that participant. So they could either like close the RTC connection, or they can like remove their video from the UI, so they just disappear. Yeah, and that's it. Demo time again. Okay, let's see if this works this time. So here we have a URL. Okay, you can see me. Here's the URL. We have a call ID. If you want to start your own calls, yeah. Let me just downgrade this so you don't mess this up.
Full plan.
So that in case we go beyond limits because you will spam my app, I don't have to pay anything. So let's just do this. Let me try. Oh, actually, let me try opening from my phone. Or if maybe any one of you wants to join the call, feel free. If it works, if it doesn't work, too bad. Let's see. I'm joining from my phone. Allow. Hello. Oh, I can see myself. Does anyone want to join? So the call ID is hello world, but you can use whatever you want.
Game.
So I can see participants. I can see this is probably me and my phone. I just put this up. Okay, let's test if it works with more than 2 participants to make sure that we achieve all our features that we want. Okay, no one else is joining.
Share the link, Arnel.
Oh, okay. I thought you're just going to type it. Okay, here you go. I will just mute the site so I don't have to hear. Oh, someone's joining. Is this Frances? Okay, no video. Okay, so in this case, yeah, this is not, it's fine if it doesn't work because it only has a stand server. I didn't configure any turn server. Hey, here's me. Oh, why does it not receive my phone stream? Okay, that's fine. But anyway.
There's a bug.
Yes, it's a bug. That's fine. Oh, someone is also joining. Oh, why did I close my tab? Now I can't leave the call. See, it got disconnected, so it just removed from the call, so that's fine. Okay. These bugs, they are expected. It's mostly a configuration stuff. So in our code, we just have turn. Where is it? We just have Fudge, where is it? Stan. I was looking for Stan. Fudge. We just have a Stan server. So if some of you are like behind some, I don't know, network stuff, I'm using also VPN. So I don't know, but it happens. That can be fixed by like configuring more like turn servers to relay data. Can be fixed by yeah, I guess that's it. That's all I know how to fix them. Anyway, that's it.
Thank you, Arnel.
Where's my screen? Where's my slides? Okay, that's done. Again, you can see like the full code here. You can run it on your local and test that it actually works. And yes, additional tips for like, I don't know, using Firebase, using WebRTC. You can use the Firebase local emulator, which is, I still need to run it. And run it by running emulator start. So what this will do is it will run a local version of Firestore instead of having to connect to the Firebase console every time. So you can use it for like, if you want to test offline, you can use the emulator. If you want to run automated tests, you can use the emulator. It looks something like this. Okay, I don't have anything. Let's run localhost. I don't know how to use it anymore. So I'm running it locally. You can see this is all localhost. I have an actual like Firestore emulator. Nice thing with this is whenever I'm done testing, I can just clear data and then everything's reset. So something you can use. One more thing is like WebRTC internals, which is, I'm just putting it out there. You'll probably have to use this if you're like, I don't know, doing advanced debugging of WebRTC stuff. You need to see each peer connection. You can see everything here. Okay, where is it? So you can see each peer connection object. You can see graphs if you want. I don't, for like FPS, data sent. If it's something that you have to check, whatever you're building with WebRTC, just know that this page exists. And what else? What's next? Okay. Other things, WebRTC is not really, so in this talk demo, we use WebRTC to build a video calling app, but that's not the only use case for WebRTC. Anything that can benefit from like peer-to-peer connections, you can use WebRTC for it. WebRTC also supports like sending data instead of media streams. So you can probably do things like, if you want to build a like multiplayer game where like real low latency, real time stuff is important, you can probably use WebRTC for it. There's even like WebTorrent or something, I think, which allows like torrent stuff on the web, which is powered by WebRTC, I believe. So yeah, it's not just for videos and video calling apps, which is probably you can use it for other things. And additional stuff, like shameless plugs. So in case you missed anything from the talk, there's also an article because I have so much time to prepare. But I'm just kidding. The part 2 Firebase stuff is still in progress. Maybe next week, maybe never. And finally, last plug, it's October and it's every year in October, it's Oktoberfest. So in case you want to like check the project or like the video calling repo, I made it participate to Oktoberfest. So if you want to open any PR to fix any bugs that you saw during the talk, feel free to open an PR. It will count towards your Oktoberfest PRs. If you get 4, you get a t-shirt and other swags. But yes, that's it. If you want to learn more about Oktoberfest, you can check out this link. I think our friends from JS Cebu or React Cebu are also thinking of organizing Oktoberfest sessions. So stay tuned for that. And I guess that's it. Do you have any questions?
Yay!
Wow.
Thank you so much, Arnel, for that. Okay pa tayo dyan? Are you all sleeping or still there? Uh, okay, we actually have a bunch of questions from our audiences. From YouTube and no.
I will now
From
stop
Slido.
sharing.
Okay. So how many are these? Okay, so let's start. I think the other questions are for GDG. But again, thank you so much, Arnel. We'll start from our first question. Ay, mahaba pala siya. Hindi ko nakita sa baba. Okay. Uh, first question. How long did it take for you to build this app and how complicated is it to do for a beginner dev?
Okay. I can answer that question very precisely if I share my screen. Am I sharing my screen?
Yes.
Let's check the commit logs. So when did I make the first commit? First commit 14 days ago, so probably 2 weeks.
All right, there you have it. 2 weeks, mga kaibigan. So, how complicated is it to do for a beginner dev?
Oh yeah, I have completed for it to do for a beginner dev. Yeah, I think I shared earlier like what's one thing that made it confusing in the beginning. You just have to understand first like the entire flow, like the offer, answer, SDP stuff, and then try not to get confused because it can get. I think it's also what I said earlier that it can get confusing if you like lose track of like which code is for who. Is it for you or for the remote peer? Just make sure you keep track of that. Something that can make it easier probably is to create 2 separate pages instead of just using like one JavaScript file to handle both caller and callee. Maybe just create 2 so you can really separate who the caller is and then who the callee is, and make sure that their code are separated. And then when you feel comfortable, just mix them all together. Also important thing is, understanding the concepts. It can sound intimidating because it's a video calling app. How does it even work? But code-wise, it's actually short in terms of code. There's just a lot of concepts to understand, and we didn't even get to actual like turn servers yet. You can run your own turn servers to have more availability so that more people can like access your app. There are open source projects for it, like CodeTurn, for example. You can run your own. I'm not sure if there are free services out there that's from cloud providers, but there's much more. So to start like with a simple app, it's not very difficult. Once you get to like optimizing stuff or making it support like, how much can like Google Meet support? Like 50, 40? Once you get to that more number of peers that you need to connect, it gets more data intensive because each peer basically needs to stream their video like 40 times to each participant. So there are other like changes in like the setup that can be done. So Google Meet, again, I don't code for Google Meet, but I checked using like the WebRTC internal stuff. Google Meet actually only has 1 peer connection per participant, and then I think they have like a central like server where instead of me having a peer-to-peer connection directly to Mark, I have a peer-to-peer connection to a Google server somewhere. Mark has a peer-to-peer connection to a Google somewhere, and then we just make our data flow from there. But it's still peer-to-peer, but not directly to all the participants. So those are things that you can do to optimize it, but that's when it gets complicated. But to get started, it's fine. It's easy.
All right. Thank you for that. Kayang-kaya pala. Okay, so how would, I think this is subjected to WebRTC. So how would WebRTC handle connections done via mobile apps?
Okay, so I don't think it can. That's why you have to do like more. So that thing that I just described earlier, where there's like a central server where instead of doing peer-to-peer directly from browser to mobile device. You do peer-to-peer from browser to like that central server, and then mobile device from that central server. And then from a mobile apps perspective, it won't be WebRTC. It's still going to be some RTC technology, but not the WebRTC API because it's not available outside the web. I think Android and iOS, they have their own RTC like implementations. But in order for that to work, it can't be direct. It needs to go through some of that stuff. And even one more thing that WebRTC allows is, I think, where did I see this? Maybe in Google Meet or something, where you can join a call from like a phone or like the VoIP, voice over IP or stuff, or like even telephones. WebRTC can integrate with that systems, but there's going to be additional like setup that are outside the web, like outside JavaScript code. So WebRTC just focus on the JavaScript code, your app, and connecting to an RTC peer. The rest of the infra stuff, I have no idea how they work.
Right, right. And I think if mobile, you can just use the mobile browser, right, to connect.
Oh yeah, if you
And-
use the mobile browser like Chrome on Android,
Yeah.
it's technically
It
a
should
web
work.
platform, so it will work. So that's what I did earlier. I joined from Chrome on Android, and it worked.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we have a question here, but I think you already answered this. So how about more than 2 peers? Would it be easy on the streams?
Yes. I mean, yes, I already answered that. No,
Yeah,
it won't be easy. So in our current, in the demo that we did, we're kind of doing like a mesh na setup where everyone is connected to everyone else. So there's like redundancy there. Like I only have one camera, but like I'm streaming it 20 times to the other 20 participants. So that's like redundant. It's like a waste of data. That's why, again, as I said, there's like the central component where you just RPC there, and then you just receive everyone's stream from that central component server stuff.
Okay.
So I think if you want to Google that, I think it's called. Wait, let me Google it first. It's called an MCU or a multi-point control unit. So maybe you can Google from there, go down the rabbit hole of how to do it, and then tell us how to do it.
Yeah, I think there are two streaming media server, SFU and MCU, I think, if I can remember. Yeah, anyway, so next question, do you see a new market opportunity as a result of WebRTC?
What? I don't know.
pitching startup ideas.
I don't think markets. But I think so. I'm not sure about markets, but you can definitely build a lot different kinds of apps with the WebRTC. So I think I shared earlier. Aside from video calling apps, you can probably create games or like what else? What else aside from game? What else aside from game?
Work teams,
chat application that uses WebRTC or something. So
collaboration apps.
Yes, so anything collaboration app that uses direct peer-to-peer stuff, you can use WebRTC for it. I can only think of games because it's fun.
Streamer.
Games are fun.
Right. Okay. Next question is, do you think the future of communication, especially with remote working, will depend heavily on WebRTC?
I think it already does. So if you're using Google Meet, it's WebRTC. I think does Zoom have a web version? I think it does.
They have
Yes,
their
it
own.
has.
Yes, that's using anything video calling app that runs on the web. It's most likely WebRTC. So it already does.
Yeah, web. Okay, I think the biggest vendor that utilizes WebRTC is also, I mean, aside from Google, is Facebook, like Messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp. I think they're using WebRTC as well. Amazon, I think they're
Time.
quiet and diligently creeping up. Apple, I don't think so. They have their own thing going on. Microsoft, well, they have their Azure communications, right? Skype and Teams. I think they do base it on WebRTC and integrated it with WinRTC. It's like the Windows version. I'm not quite sure, but I did read something about it. But yeah, any more questions from our audiences? Wala na. How about you, Francis? Do you have any question?
No, I think I just wanted to say that this is a Google developers group, so we don't really need to share about our other technologies. But yeah, just Google WebRTC, and I think we're good. And then yeah, I'm just here also to answer the DevFest related questions. But yeah, thank you so much, Arnel, for spending time with us this Saturday. If you have other questions for Arnel, I think Arnel showed his like media information para you can chat with him. Like the GitHub link will also be shared. We will try to zip this video so that you have like full replay of Arnel's talk in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned of that. Yeah, but thank you so much, Arnel. Bigyan naman natin ng palakpak si Arnel. People here, thank you so much. Yon.
Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Thanks, Arnel. And yeah, I'm just here actually, Mark. I'm sorry I bulldozed your Q&A for Arnel because I think we're done.
Yeah.
We do have questions about DevFest and resources. So for resources of all the talks today, we can share links in the social media, in our Facebook pages later on or in the next couple of days so that you can check it out. We'll also take a screenshot later on, so please do not leave because I'm very happy to announce, if you've seen the emails that we've sent, everyone who joined today in this Zoom call will get 15% off the registration link for in-person DevFest 2022 this Cebu. So that's a big deal, guys. Yes, 15%. That means if your ticket is regular, we haven't actually figured out the prices. Yes, we're still looking for venues. Bear with us, we have full-time jobs. So if you have suggestions of venues and other stuff that you want to held DevFest, please chat on the page or chat us. We need all your help because we want to bring back physical in-person events in Cebu. So the target to that, just to answer your question, when is DevFest coming? We're planning to do it within November. No concrete dates yet. We still are looking for a venue, but we're looking for speakers and sponsors already. So if you know anyone who wants to speak, either you're the beginner student, an advanced person, an aspiring web developer who wants to share their knowledge and inspire others, you're free. We posted a form already in the page if you want to be a speaker. To those who are here, if you're interested to partner with us, you can also message the page. We will reply to you as soon as possible. So yeah, we're very open. Either November or early December. Hindi tayo magka-Christmas. But yeah, within those dates, that's the best season. So again, thank you so much for coming. But it's not yet the end of the the event. We still have games. So, I am gonna be... Wait, do I still have questions? What's the prize for the game later? There is one question asking about the prizes. So, to end this, you'll be giving away, yay, rice and prize. Hindi mo tayo magbibigay ng bigas. Prize lang po. But yeah, we will be giving away swags. I'm not sure what. I think we have some shirts and lanyards left from our latest event last July. We had IO Extended Cebu 2022, so we have shirts, I think a bit of masks, but yeah, we will message you later on. So I have a couple of questions. I would need the help of our moderators to list the people who answered the most. I will be giving away top three people who answered it correctly. So if kayo lang po yung nag-answer, well, kayo lang yung productive. But yeah, moderators, can I see a chat or a wave naman dyan para I know you're listing down the people? Okay, we have Nina who will list down. And of course, in order to win, the people who are with us in YouTube, you can answer in YouTube, but I guess we can't really, verify you. So join us in Zoom. I will give you 1 minute to join us in Zoom. So the game is like question and answer. I will be showing a couple of logos, you'd let me know the name of the logo. These are Google products. I also have some tech tidbits that if you know the answer to it, just type it. The first person to chat will be verified by the moderator. And of course, me kung tama yung sagot. And then you get 1 point. By the end of the event, the top 3 people with the most points will win. Is everyone okay with our rules? Meron tayong clarifications? Can I get a thumbs up naman dyan, madlang people? Walang thumbs up? Only the organizers are here? Yes! Okay. And then also, since for games naman tayo, mga folks, can you turn on your videos? It's not fun not seeing people's videos, you know? It's not really fun. I am now in my PJs. I am at home. Don't worry. We are at home. We are cozy and everything. We do not judge. Though this is live, so syempre, if you are not fit, someone left because we need video. But yeah, if you can turn on your video, that would be better para mas fun yung interaction natin. Competitive tayo by nature. But yeah, okay. I gave 1 minute. We can start. So, the first person to chat, marami na nagjo-join. All right. So again, just to recap the rules, the first person to answer the question correctly will get 1 point. And the top 3 people to get the most points by the end of the event will get swags from GDG Cebu. We can probably meet up with an IT Park if you're in Cebu, and if you're not from Cebu, we'll figure something out. So yeah, just stay until the end of the event para meron kang screenshot, then we know your name as well. Okay, let me find my código. So the first category is tech trivia. So the first person to answer the question in chat will win. Okie dokie. Let's go, let's go. What is the word that is called a fear of technology? Bawal Google, but you know, if you want to Google, that's fine. What is the fear of technology? Go. First person to chat. Oh, we have someone who's very fast. We have an answer already from Therese. Ace, wala po tayong question mark, but tama yung answer ni Therese. She got 1 point. That is correct. It's technophobia. Diba? Fear of technology. That's sad, no? We can't work in tech if you have technophobia. Okay, next question. Still in tech trivia. The first person will get 1 point. How many zeros are in a Google? Diba? Google is a fun pala. How many zeros are in a Google? Zeros po. What is zeros? Meron po tayo. Pwede po kayong mag-Google, guys, ha? So, labanan na lang po ng... Ace got it right! The correct answer is 100. Yes. I don't know actually the background of Google. Let's search that later. But it is 100. Third question. Pwede tayo mag-music naman dyan, like, I don't know, parang di fun yung question and answer natin. Okay, still in tech trivia. In what location did Google got it right? Wow, fun naman yung voice ko. Hindi yung voice ko yung dapat na maging background music, no? Diba? Thank you so much, DJ. Again, in what location did Google initially operate? It has to be full. We know that it is in this part of the house, but what location? I would accept. It has to be full. It should be full. What location? It's 2 answers. What part of the house? And then the location. Come on. Wow, meron na po tayong correct answer, Therese. It's in the garage in Menlo Park. Yes. So Tom, unfortunately, you are second. Therese got it right. Pero sige lang, we still have more questions. Again, top 3 po tayo. So, if Therese gets it all right, the other 2 people will still get swags. Others, we still have prizes for others. Come on, let's go. Last 2 questions for tech trivia, and then I'll proceed to logos. The next question is, if you're familiar with this app, this was bought by Google in July 2006. What is this company? What is the company that Google buy back in 2006 in July? Wow! Meron na po tayong, I don't know, moderators in my side, pareho silang nag-type. So, you decide po, moderator.
Therese got the first one.
Okay.
The point
But
goes to Therese.
Tama po rin, G and Therese, it's YouTube. So, YouTube was bought by Google. It's a Google product. Currently, the CEO of YouTube is Susan Wojcicki. Tama po yung pag-pronounce ko, hopefully, by ng name niya. And last question for tech trivia. Tabilisan to. This is very, very fast question. You can see this answer everywhere. Can we put like a bar para we know? Bar. Okay, thank you, Ram. How many colors are in the Google logo? Again, how many colors are in the Google logo? Moderator, who got it first?
In my
On
side,
my
it's
screen,
A.
it's A.
Yeah.
Ace. Okay, ace din sa akin. Just making sure. But in Zoom, it's like 437 silang apat. But yeah, it's correct. 4. It's red, green, blue, and yellow. Can we put a scoreboard tally? You can put it in chat while I open my guess the logo section. So, si Ace po at si Therese yung leaderboard po natin. I will stop your music, Mark, for our next.
I'm the one sharing the audio, ate. I'll just stop sharing the audio na.
Yes.
Alright.
Parang kasalanan ko lahat.
Ay, sorry. This was you pala. Okay. Sige, meron pang chance makahabol everybody. What screen do you see? Do you see guess the logo? Yes? Okay. All right. Sige, pabilisan po tayo. Can we get the bar po? Ako na lang yung maglalagay. Guess the logo. The first person to type it who gets the correct and gets the prize will be get the point. What's my instruction? It's already close to 5. What is this logo? Come on. We have correct answers already. I won't ask muna who won. Para suspense, it's Android. So yon, Android. What's the latest version? It's not a question, but do you know what's the latest version of Android now? Yung alam ko, it's is it marshmallow pa ba? O Oreo, P. What's P? I don't know what's P. Do we have pretzel? Meron pa tayong P? Pistachio? Pie? Meron bang pie? Pie na? Okay, what's Q? Is there a Q? Queso. I think I have to get back to my Android things. Oh, do we have tiramisu already? Okay. Di ako updated. Sige. I'll proceed to the next. Mabilisan po tayo. Bar, please. Nice. What is this logo? And the correct answer is Google Cloud. Diba? Google Cloud. Oh, diba? Thank you. Thank you for the sound effects. Next, logo. If hindi nyo to alam, ewan ko na lang. That is correct. This is Firebase. So Arnel has been talking about this since kanina. So if you don't know this, wala na. Sad lang kasi hindi nyo alam. Okay, next. What is this logo? Ito medyo mahirap. This was not talked about. Wrong spelling wrong po tayo. The correct answer is TensorFlow. One word lang po si TensorFlow. Tama po si Sir Ace. Thank you so much. I'll proceed to the next one. What is this logo? You know, today I learned, I did not know that this is the logo pala of that product. Like, I was not informed na ganun pala siya. So, yun. We have a correct answer na. This is Google Ads. So, ads, I think, moderator, this is on you. I think this is okay. Ads, or ikaw, moderator, what do you think? Is this ads or should be Google Ads? Because we're talking about the product.
Well, since we considered the space earlier, I suppose it would be reasonable if we just include the entirety of the name because it's like very context based. So the point goes to Jean.
Okay. Sorry, April. But yeah, bawi pa tayo. We still have, I think, more questions here. Next logo. Sige. What is this? What is this?
I'm a very fan of that.
This is, if you have an Android phone, this, you have this. This is already, some people got it. So it's triggered by OK Google. This is Google Assistant. So, si April po yung nakakuha. Yes, Google Assistant. You can actually code your own Google Assistant and then, customize it on your site. It's really fun. And then if you have an Android phone, it's part of the basic features, like, set an alarm. I actually have, chika ko lang, I bought a Google. I don't know if you heard that.
Do you want to know whether Google...
Okay, Google, stop. It was triggered. I have a Google Home Mini. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I connected it with my...
This device is a Google Nest Mini.
Okay, sorry, Google Mini. I connected it with my smart light, I never had to stand up to turn on the light. Anyways, next logo po tayo. What's this?
Oh, ikaw rin pala.
Wow.
Oh.
We already have a correct answer. This is Flutter. Flutter po. Yes, we have Ace. Good job. And I don't know if I still have slides, but let's go. Next logo. Ayun. Meron po tayong one more person who came in. What's this? I actually don't know what this is. The correct answer is, if tama ba kayo? Google Analytics. So it should be full word. It's supposed to be Google Analytics. Yeah, sayang is, you could have one. Full word po tayo because it's a product. Okay, next question. If meron pa. Yan! I don't know this. So, sabay-sabay tayong makakaalam ka ng logo to. What is this logo, everybody? I will have last 10 seconds. Baka there's some people who wants to give answers if April's answer is incorrect. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Correct answer is Google AdMod. So it's AdMod. I don't know what this is. So mag-Google tayo what's AdMob later on. AdMob. What's Google AdMod? Okay. But anyways, I'll proceed to the next. Something to learn after this event. What is Google AdMod? Next po. This one. What is this logo? So interesting. There's like new logos that we don't know, no? La 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 la. Background music lang po tayo. Star ng Pasko. Yes, folks, you can Google this. We have Google Lens naman. If you have a phone, you can search images and this will show you what product this is. Meron pa ba? You're not interested anymore? Ayaw nyo na? Seriously, what's this? 5,
Let's use our phones.
4, 3, 2, 1. This is web. Interesting. Is the video Google Web? Parang ayoko. Gusto kong i-search pero later. Really? Okay, I think this is second. This is the last logo. Interesting. Moderator, can we... What's web? Really? It's web. Google Web. Parang dito ako naka Google Web. Really showing you my phone. It's really hard to find that. Anyways, AdMob. It's really AdMob. Okay. Sige. Just making sure. Di tayo making sure that everything that we show here is correct. So, can we get our top 3 moderators? Wow, we have a tie between Jean and Trey. Is this Therese? Therese? Wait, what's Therese? Oh, do not murder our participant's name. Bad moderator. It's Therese.
No, that's actually her nickname.
Okay,
you know her. Okay.
Okay, sorry,
We're
Therese.
judgers,
Okay,
Shortcut na ako. I forgot how many SS there were.
Yes, but don't worry to those who did not get it. You still have the 15% off for your DevFest registration. So we will provide you a code. We'll send you a link. Make sure to in the start of registration, you know, if the form is out, please message us to get your code. Para we can give you a special code or a special ticket that you can get. Kasi you got 15% off DevFest. Okay, so we have a tie between April and Jean. This is between you, April, Jean, and Jean. This is my second question. Last question, but between you, the first person to give it correctly will get the swag. Then, either ninyo, what is the name of our speaker for today? Go! The one who talked about the video calling app. Diba? What is the name? Hala, he did not listen. Full name po yung kailangan po natin. Full name. Ay. So, top 2 na lang po yung magiging. It has to be a full name po. It's in the FB page. It's everywhere. So, yes, the full name po ng ating speaker. We got it correctly. So, Jean po got the 3rd swag. So, congratulations. Ay, someone left agad kasi hindi niya nakuha. Do not leave. So, congratulations, Therese, Ace, Therese, and Jean. You get swag kits. We will message you after the event. Most likely, we will do a meetup at IT Park if you're all in Cebu. But yeah, congratulations. And to those who did not win, of course, you still have your 50% perk. And, we got to spend Saturday together. Isn't that fun? O, diba? It's fun being with us. I hope that we can bring back in-person events para mas fun yung competitiveness ng mga tao. But yeah, thank you so much. And before we end, I would like to ask everyone if you can please turn on your videos. This is one of our first online meetups in the end of this quarter. So I hope to see you. Come on, let's turn on our videos show our pretty faces. Yes. Yes, and then let's take a screenshot. Jean, Ace, nanalo na po kayo. Pwede na po kayong mag-turn on. They left. People left. Bakit kayo nag-leave? Yes, why? April, Ace, maybe baka pwede kayong yes, how it's unlocked. Why? April, Lyle, can you turn on your videos if you're okay? Or you can just chat na hindi pwede, Francis. Wala, I'm not in a good place right now. Sige, I'll wait for 5, 4, 3, 2, Ayaw pa rin. Okay, let's just take a screenshot, everybody. In 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, one more. Sorry. That was okay. In 3, 2, 1. Oy, Ace opened up. Nice. Okay, nice ka, Ace. We waited for you, Ace. Sige, in 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate spending your Saturday with us. We hope to see you soon in DevFest. May you have an amazing week ahead. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thank you.